All right, here we are at our beautiful little cabin we rented at the Youghiogheny River. I'm gonna head down, just getting everything I want in my PFD, everything I want in my dry bag, all that squared away. It's about 6:30. Looking to get it put in by 8. Okay, this is the parking lot put in for the Lower Yough. In order to buy the passes that you need, you're gonna walk down those steps, go left, down around the corner of a building to a window where you can buy them. It's 10 bucks. This is your wristband, which is basically your ticket for the bus ride shuttle home. So keep it in your PFD in case it comes off your wrist. Park ranger will take this one from you at the put-in. Lower Yough, 2.5 feet. We went up to Ohio Pile and rented a cabin. It's between a 3 and 4 to 5 hour drive, depending on the traffic from DC. And from there, you can run the Lower Yough, the Castleman, the Savage, the Upper Yough, the Top Yough. There are a ton of rivers out there, but the Lower Yough is known as one of the best whitewater runs, Class 3, in the entire country, especially on the East Coast. It is a rapid pool setup with tons of great white water, mostly class 3 at higher flows. Some of that becomes class 4. There are obviously a few class 2s in there. It's a great run. This video is going to give you an overview of mostly the traditional lines, sometimes some non-traditional lines, which I'll call out, at about 2.5 feet, which is the upper end of normal for a flow on this river. Entrance Rapid is a little bit shallow, so just keep an eye out for rocks. Generally, read and run is fine at this level. There is a big munchy hole that you don't want to go into called Bryson's Hole, which is just middle river right or so. So if you hug the left bank, you're fine, and you can aim for the waves and all that good stuff and just enjoy your way down. Oh yeah. All right. The standard line on Cucumber is to go more through the middle and make your way either around a hole or boof a rock and go straight down the drop, more or less. Our friend Adam, who was guiding us, couldn't remember exactly and ended up taking us down the left, which is super fun, but does require a bit of a zigzag move. So you can see me encountering that in real time here. Overall, this is a great rapid, super fun, good for peel outs, good for ferry practice. Really, really, really good.
Yeah, buddy! Woo! Woo!
I think we got a pin.
A pin?
Oh, he's okay. He's out. He's out. Good?
Is he okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's out.
he was like pinned there for a second in between the rock and the wall. He wasn't coming up. He's out now.
All right, okay.
He's out.
Woo! Nice. Nice.
Okay, for eddy turn, there are pinning rocks on the right. So there's a fun, fast wave train on the left-hand move, and it's fun to stick close to those rocks even. But if you go too far right and you make a bad move, it'd be easy to get pinned there, which is why most people stick to the left and just try to hit the waves and stuff they think is going to be fun on the way down.
Yeah. That might flip someone. It might.
This is Railroad, the last rapid before the takeout for the loop, which is an easy, quick version of the run that you can easily hike up. Now, this rapid has a sneak line on the right. We are going middle and then left. Middle, there's a hole that you can boof or fall into and then brace up like I did. Whoops. But then immediately you need to get left to go around this rock and wash down the outflow. So kind of a trickier move, but super fun. And what I found in my boat is that if you get generally in the right place, the current takes you, and there's just a matter of kind of fine boat control. That's here on a class 3, definitely not advice for harder rapids, but give it a try if you're up here. It's pretty low consequence.
If you have been watching the channel at all, you know I love going under a bridge. sea. They're good. Pretty awesome to have basically the entire Lower Yough to ourselves. We saw some rafters up there, but that's it. Getting ready to go run Dimple now. It's been super fun so far. So
these are some little riffles on the way to Dimple. Dimple is the highest consequence rapid on the Lower Yough, and that's because just on the left there is a huge rock that the river goes underneath. There's enough room for a person and a boat to get down there, but not quite enough room to get through the hole underneath the rock. People have been killed here, typically swimmers. If you happen to wash under there in your kayak, it's imperative that you stay in your boat because you and your boat can't fit down there into the undercut and will flush out. You alone with your body can fit under there and get stuck and drown, as happens, unfortunately, pretty frequently. You'll see a warning sign up on the left that indicates this hazard. It's possible to walk the rapid. There's no reason to take the risk if you don't feel like taking the risk or you don't feel confident. But ultimately, the move is to just angle your boat to the right towards Pinball Rock and just use cross current momentum to get across into that eddy. You will notice that if you point your boat just downstream, since the whole river is running under that rock, at least on this side of it, it's going to take you there. By angling your boat across, pointing at the eddy or even the rock above the eddy, you're ensuring that when you take those paddle strokes, you're benefiting from cross-current speed and launching yourself away from the hazard and into the eddy that's safe on the other side.
great job.
Going to get him.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah, buddy. I'm staying. I'll come down sweep, whatever you want to do. Yeah, me again. Paddle, paddle, paddle.
I think that's it, eh?
Yep, we're good.
after Dimple, you wash down into a fun, bouncy wave train called Swimmers. There's almost a river-wide wave/hole that's a tiny bit grabby, but really good for surfing if you've got an Antics or a Rewind or a playboat. It's a nice glassy, long wave. You have to fight to get onto it from either side, up into the current, attain a little bit through a little boily eddy. But it's super fun, and this is a typical place to stop and have lunch, joke around, chill out a little bit, hydrate, get ready for the second half of the trip.
Woo! Yeah. All right, this is Swimmers, directly after Dimple. Came down here, good place to take out, eat lunch, chill out, stretch your legs, whatever you want to do. This is the river-wide wave hole where people can surf, rafts can surf, and it's accessible pretty much from either side, but the water's moving pretty fast, so be ready to fight up and paddle, paddle, paddle up into the entry move. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, not the ideal level for it, but...
Yeah! Woo! Full excitement. Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
Swimmers and the surfing, bottle of wine, and later double hydraulic down here.
This rock.
I see it.
Double hydraulic. This is a class 3. Essentially, it consists of a nice little gradient down and 2 holes, which are pretty easy to avoid. The holes themselves, I didn't punch the first one, but I got a good piece of the second one, and they didn't seem super grabby or munchy to me. So if you've got a nice long boat, you're going fast, and you're big like me, you could probably punch right through them, which was very entertaining. Otherwise, they're easy to avoid. You can just eddy out right afterwards. River's End is easily my favorite rapid on the Lower Yough. It's a 3 plus, and essentially it looks like the entire river is dumping into this massive, like monolith boulder, huge formation sticking up out of the river. And the moves to go left of that big rock and immediately right. And what happens is there's this channelized current whipping around the corner. And if you just throw your left knee up and go with the turn, you just get slingshotted around the corner, and it's super fun. It's a bit of a misnomer because, of course, this is not the end of the river. It just looks like it. There's still a few rapids to go.
Megan, yeah! Darren getting it! Roy! Woo-hoo-hoo!
So I also
So on your first time, you're supposed to run this rapid, Killer Falls, on the right and backwards down a drop. I decided to follow my buddy Adam down a left line to practice eddying and doing little C-turns around boulders, but what I should have done is do Killer Falls backwards because that's tradition. Don't skip it if you do it, and I'm going to do it next time and potentially a booty beer to make up for it. Maze is pretty chill. Basically, it's a boulder garden full of really big boulders. The line that Adam is showing us here just takes us through some of the more exciting whitewater, but it's a choose your own adventure for the most part.
All right, so I'm up here.
My first run down the Lower Yough was awesome. I ended up having a dry hair day, which is pretty unusual for me, which probably means I could have taken more aggressive lines and tried harder things. But ultimately, it felt like a really good run. I really need to work on my boof. You'll see me just like falling into holes here, but ultimately, I understand why the Lower Yough is one of the most popular whitewater runs on the East Coast. It's rapid pool, which breaks up the run really nicely and gives you confidence that you can collect your stuff if you have a yard sale. Additionally, there are a ton of really cool moves and features that we don't have on the Potomac. That is to say, more continuous rapids, which you will have heard me say before, but also rapids that require trickier moves, a Z move here and there, changing your boat angle aggressively in fast current with consequences. And of course, like there's an element of running Dimple where we haven't really consciously sort of risked our lives a lot in a place where there's a known hazard. And if it's your first time doing that, then, it's maybe overblown to say risking your life, but thinking about those more drastic outcomes of a swim or a roll, and then really executing against the move and feeling like you were high and dry, good to go, is confidence building in a strange way. But the other thing is that everybody thinks about risk differently, and this is a good opportunity to examine how you personally approach risk and what you're willing to do and what you're not. And just to say, there's no reason to take risks just for an ego. If you don't feel like running it, you absolutely shouldn't. At the end of the day, we are all here to have fun. Lower Yough is awesome. I'll be getting up there a lot because it's going to be a low water summer in DC. But I do recommend going down with somebody who knows what they're doing your first time. You really don't want to be trying to read and run all of these rapids unless you're a really confident boater in class 3 plus, class 4 water, just because, you'd rather know the lines than probably have a yard sale every rapid. So boat carefully, boat smart. There's lots of rapid maps and stuff like that, resources, lots of videos like this one. And as always, let me know if I mislabeled anything, got anything wrong, and thanks for watching.